Hello, whoever's iPhone. Oh, hi, Cassandra. Oh, no. Well, so far it's just you and I. So if we need to, we can always go over when you have better internet.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Just kidding. You are not the only one. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I was in the process of pulling up my training, and I'm like, and I've been scrolling all day. I'm like, oh, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Come on. Nope, that's not the right class. We will get started just in a second. Oh, I can't stop yawning.
Am I supposed to have another meeting with you?
Yes, you will.
Okay.
I have to see if you are on my list of month check-ins.
I don't think it's been a month yet.
I was going to say, I don't think it has.
Yeah,
I think.
It's been a month. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I was just looking at my. Okay. Should I ask you then to get me set up on the printer here at that meeting, or can we do that earlier?
We can do that earlier.
Okay.
You have PC, yeah, it takes like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, when are you leaving today?
Right after this.
Right after this? Okay. Because I'm playing Taylor this week, so I'm cutting checks too. So I have to pop right back.
I don't need the printer this
Okay.
weekend, so we could do it next week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have my appointment links still from one of my many emails, I'm sure? Maybe?
Is it in the dashboard?
Yeah.
Because can I just make it on the dashboard?
Yeah, there's
Under tech?
yeah. I was like, where is it again on tech? Yeah, tech. Should be a appointment link that says, what would you like to schedule?
It's the wrong dashboard. Like tech consult?
Yes. And just do a 15-minute one.
Okay. Goal setting.
Yeah, it'll say goal setting. I need to rechange that to back to just 15. I
Perfect.
labeled it to entice people, but I keep forgetting to put it back. Anyways, yeah, set up a 15-minute
Okay.
whenever you're available and we can do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So there's just two of you lovely people. Part of the reason why I realized at about 8 o'clock this morning that I completely forgot to put my calendar invites out again today or this week. So I apologize for it only being the two of you. And it's better that way because you get my full attention. So this week is all about, it says class 4 because it kind of went a little out of order. Next week, Anna and Chase are going to be doing database, contacts, smart plans. So that's really class 3, but this week is all about how to manage your transactions like a millionaire. So most of today's class is actually fully in Command and not on here. But this is what we're doing. We're doing transaction management, document management, and money management. So, Command, we all know it. We all love it. Sandra, if you have any questions, just pop on chat. I'll try to keep an eye out on it. What we are focusing on today is all opportunities. So, Command was built with Millionaire Real Estate Agent in mind. Last week and the previous week, we saw our lovely pipeline. I did not bring it back this week. I don't know why, but I didn't. But at the bottom of the pipeline has cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. So it made it really easy to follow the systems and models in place because it's right here. They kept it simple for us. Now there's a listings pipeline and a buyer's pipeline and leases if you have some leases. I know there's a handful of agents that are doing quite a bit of lease work. I focus on these two during all my classes. So the first step of managing your deals like a millionaire, you have to have a pipeline. What you do, I have a box in the way I need to be. That create opportunity, that's how you actually add to your pipeline. A lot of people worry about deals once they are in the active phase. So you've signed a listing or you've signed a buyer. That's where people start caring. Millionaire Real Estate challenges you to think before you get to that active stage, really cultivating that person to become active, under contract, and closed. So in each one of these phases, so I focus just on listing for classes because essentially it's the same thing. You get to do a lot of the similar things. You start and cultivate. You create your opportunity and you go through the list. We'll go into that a little bit more. So cultivate through close, it's going to be the default for every single agent in the KW ecosystem. And then these buckets called stages are customizable. So cultivate, I currently have watch, nurture, hot. That actually is the default stages. Appointment, I have scheduled and signed. The default is scheduling, scheduled, and kept. That didn't make sense to my head, so that's why I changed it. And if the default makes sense in your head, rock and roll and keep it the way it is. Active, again, this is listing, so active listing. This is, I had the appointment, I signed them. So now we have where the customization comes in a lot. And I can share with you sort of sample checklists, so that way you're not reinventing the wheel from nowhere. And then goes through under contract and closed. And in each one of these, let's go back to cultivate where I have my training one, you will notice the deals have a little checklist. You can actually edit those stages in each phase. So you can edit the cultivate stages, the appointment stages, the active stages. My brain is just fried. Under contract and closed stages. And each one of them has the ability to have a checklist as well. So that the sample one that I will send you guys after class will have a lot of these checklist items, sort of ideas to get you started. Sandra, did you ever set up your transaction checklist? you the sample just in case you want to revamp it. You will also notice, so you have the checklist right in the middle. You'll also notice this thing called client updates. At any point, you have a checklist item and you select client update. That will send out a once a day email. You can set up when it sends out to your client that's on the opportunity saying, your agent so-and-so completed these items for you today. This is going to be sort of your proof that you're making your money and not just making easy money like all of our lovely clients think we do. Because let me tell you, it's not always easy. That's literally going to, you'll complete the checklist item and that item will get sent to their client update the next time it goes out. I would not put everything on that. And anything you put as the checklist, that's literally what your client will see. So do not say something that makes sense to you. Say something that will make sense to your client. That's why update market analysis. I want to make sure that I let my client know, yep, I ran a new market analysis on your property. Or if it was under active, you can, like, I have a client update. Congrats, your listing is now active. That's what when I select that client update will get sent to them. And how you change because like I said, it gets sent out once a day. You click on that little cogwheel and you can say what time you want it sent out every day. If you do most of your work in the morning and you want to send it out in the afternoon, change it to the afternoon. If you are like me, where I do most of my stuff late in the evening and update my checklist, I want it to go out first thing in the morning. And you always, for teams, you'll say who it's sent from, but solo agents, that won't give you an option. And then you can also send it, do you have 2 clients or do you only want to send it to the primary client? And the default currently, or the template currently is just a plain Jane one. It's like has like a cutesy house. And then it literally is just your agent so-and-so has completed the following items. That's it. And it's super powerful because you can prove that you're earning your money.
So you're sending this out though in the cultivate stage?
You can utilize client updates literally anywhere in the process.
So is that the same as like sending out a monthly email with like their neighborhoods? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I do. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, the beeping.
No idea what it is. Anyways, well, I know yesterday our backup thing was beeping, so I was like, uh-oh, is that beeping again? No, it is slightly different. So the monthly neighborhood nurture, those are going to go automatically based on the address and the neighborhood and email. What these client updates are solely for active opportunities. So as you are, go back. So as you're completing these checklists, okay, I made it all client updates. But as I'm completing these checklists throughout the process, if I had a client update here checked, when I complete it, tomorrow morning, my client on this deal will get an update that I did that for them.
Okay.
Like I would not have a client update for get phone number. That's for my brain, not my client's brain. So it doesn't always make sense to have a client update. Make sense now? A little bit, at least, kind of. Once you sort of, client updates are definitely more advanced because you need to know what the heck the process is before you try to tell your clients what is going on. Any questions from you, Cassandra? Awesome. All right, so we got client updates, we got checklist items, we got stages, and now how you actually get paid. And a little bit more. So this is your opportunity. You'll also notice those lovely checklist items are right up here as well. You can see what the client update settings are. So if you needed to change something, you could change it or add another contact. That's really helpful for when you have first-time home buyers that rely on their parents' decision-making skills versus their own. I have come across that, and they really wanted their parents to literally be told everything. I'm like, okay, but they're not my client. But sure, that's great. So you can add the additional contact, so that way their parents can get, or other. A lot of people have been starting to use this as lenders, title. So that way, like if it's title has been ordered, you can add a client update. I don't know totally why a title company would want that, but I have seen people starting to use that. Or you can also override the default time. If you have clients that work overnight and you know they're not going to check their email first thing in the morning because they're barely getting home and they just want to crawl into bed, you could change that to 11 o'clock at night and they actually get it when they're up versus when you're up. And then discussions only for teams. All right, so details of your opportunities. This page, this is where all of your down and dirty information that you could ever possibly need lives. General information is going to be all about the deal, all about where they are, key dates, key prices. Seller worksheet, I would suggest to fill out for your listings because what will happen is when you start filling out offers, which we'll talk about, that will actually help you in net proceeds on comparing offers.
Sammy?
Yes.
Okay, so we're under opportunity.
Yes.
And then how did you get to general information?
You have to open an opportunity.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. If you don't have one, you have to create one.
Gotcha.
All right. Oh, did I miss a chat? I love these updates. I need to use them more versus just tech. Yes, you do need to use them. Because then you don't have to remember, did I tell my client that their listing's active? Because every now and then when you have it withheld and it goes active and like it's a property that might not have a ton of showings right off the bat, you might forget to tell them that when active. I've never done that, ever. Yes, I've done it once. I didn't totally forget. It was more of, it went active and then like 3 hours later, I'm like, oh, I should tell them that went active. So, like that client update is not the end all be all for like, congratulations, your listing went active, but it's just a nice little extra touch because the more you can show that your clients that you are doing some work, and it's not just the easy, wonderful life of TV shows. It's going to make you look that much better, and you are going to be that much stickier to your client. Anyway, so details. Think of the details page as like the one-page manila folder summary sheet. Anything you could possibly think that you need is probably going to live on here, including on the top of it, you can always see your client. So that way you're not having to like, oh, I have to go back to contacts and search for my contact information. Nope, it's right here. I can call right from here. I can copy and paste the email from here. Seller profile. Not very useful if they're not on your consumer platform, meaning they're not on your KW app or they're not on your agent site. If they are on either of those and signed up with the email address that you have in command for them, what they will get is you'll see that they're registered with the consumer platform, and you'll be able to see what step they are in the guides. If you have not played with the guides or seen it on your app yourself, play with it and learn it. It lives under consumer. That's really kind of cool, because that way, if they are a cultivate and you're in here going through updating checklists and stuff, you can pop in this profile, either seller or buyer profile, and hop on, look at that. Because if they're going through their phone and completing some of these guides, meaning they're learning what the buying and the selling process is, that would be a really good indicator that you need to pick up the phone and call those people, because they're getting real serious. Or last active unknown, probably not a high priority. You're still going to call them on a regular basis, but they're probably not going to be like, oh, hey, I remember how I said I was like 12 months out? It's now like 3 months out. So that's a nice little piece of information that you can utilize. Whoop. Documents. That's how you actually stay compliant with the office. I know I have my buyer and seller my command boot camp rather. That's after the buyer and seller boot camp. That I go into this in a lot more detail. What you can utilize this for is not just keeping compliant with documents. You can use this custom folder button for all of the other stuff that the office doesn't necessarily need. What I utilize this custom folder for is for my buyer clients. I have them fill out my buyer and seller, or their buyer needs pages, and I upload them into there. So that way I don't lose them. I'm horrible with paper, like absolutely horrible. Like I will have a pile and somehow it will magically just like be gone. I don't know why. So literally as soon as anything's filled out, I will scan it and put it digital, because I will lose it. And that's where I can save it, so that way I don't lose it. You can also use the custom folders for pretty much anything. Yeah.
As far as documents and all of this stuff, now, is there any type of expiration on how long it will save these documents? I know we have to save documents up to what, 6 years, is it?
7.
7 years. So 7 years, do you keep, I'm guessing you keep your own personal files as far as important documents as well?
So if you have it in here, and as long as you stay with KW, I just put it in here.
So it's smart to keep all your own too, I'm guessing.
I don't know what that was. Crazy things have been happening all day. Yes. And if you do anything on Instanet, that has a lot of this stuff saved too for you, so you don't have to think about it either. But yes, you have to save it for 7 years. What I get in the habit of is I'll create a folder in my Gmail for every single transaction and just pop all of my emails in there. There's a way to like save emails as PDFs and stuff. I just put them in the folder and call it a day. But as far as like contracts and anything else, yes, keep it for 7 years. The nice thing is, if you needed to send it or save it elsewhere, there's this export selected documents, and you can actually export active documents and out of your custom folders. You can protect them as well. You'll notice the client email. This is not on yours because this is something we're testing right now, but you'll have the ability to email it directly to clients.
Would you think it would be smart if we, I mean, not smart, but I mean, would it be possible to like add somebody in as like a client just so we can get this screen to come up and kind of look through it and play around?
Oh yeah, use yourself. Okay. Add yourself to command. And like this is purely, I call it my training opportunity. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely.
Your husband must get a lot of stuff.
He always knows when I'm training because he's like, that's not something I really need to sign, is it? I'm like, no, really isn't. And when it is something real, babe, you need to sign that. Oh, I thought you were trained. No.
That's funny.
So yes, he randomly gets, and like I'll text him random things. He's like, training, huh? Yeah.
Tell him thank you. We appreciate it.
Well, he's the easiest guinea pig I have because I don't have to worry about explaining to him that I'm training, and it looks like a real person then versus just me all the time.
Right.
But yeah. You can also, so you can utilize custom folders for anything that the office doesn't need. And every now and then you will come across documents that do not fit nicely into the checklist that is created. This little add item button is your friend. This is super useful for if you have multiple amendments and addendums, so that, and obviously they're probably not coming in all at one time. That would be nice, but they're not. You can add the additional amendments and addendums as an add item. So that way you can sort of keep them separate. So another common thing that people miss is, say a deal falls apart. It happens. There's this little thing that says listed. Mine says V2, but ordinarily it's just listed. When you click that little arrow, you can click on add a version. So if I were under contract one, I can add a new under contract checklist because I still want to keep the deal that fell apart, but this way I can create a new version versus having to create a whole new opportunity for just a deal that fell apart. Make sense? Cool. Any questions so far, Cassandra? Good. All right, so when I was in details, I said this seller worksheet is awesome for when you are doing offer comparisons. So we're going to just throw in some numbers. And we're going to show net on offer comparison. And I'm going to save it. So now when I go back to the offers, I already have some deals or offers in here. We're going to change this response. Yes, I want to change it. So now we have a bunch of offers that I want to compare. This is my high buck one, as evident by a couple $2 offers. So once you have entered all of your offers, ordinarily most people will just use this for one offer, the accepted offer, just so they can do the commission request to Taylor. But what you can do is compare all of the offers. So I'm selecting all of them, or you could select some of them if you've kind of got to like the top 3. And you could click on this compare offers button. And what will happen is it will give you the sales price, how much cash, the closing date, and how much cash is going to them. Clearly, I'm not going to probably select these negative ones because those aren't very nice. But you can give a nice breakdown. It's not going to be exact. It's not going to have some of like the county information, but it's a really nice estimate to be able to provide your clients when they're trying to compare multiple offers. And there's this lovely download button that will download it as a PDF as well. So they can see all of the offers. So you title the offer based on probably the agent's name or the buyer's name, and then they can see how much they're netting. And you'll also notice there is a summary and pros and cons. That's where you would give sort of, this is a VA offer, this is a conventional offer, this is cash offer. Anything that you can give more information to your clients when you're entering these offers to compare them. Make sense? And then once you have accepted an offer, you'll click accept, and that will tell the system, this is the information about the buyer and the agent and the offer itself. What I want to tell Taylor is to expect coming in. Oh, I want to click on manage commission. I click on manage commission, and this is where you make sure you have when the contract date was, when the closing date is, and any information about if you want to donate to KW Cares, KW Kids can. If you have referrals to add to this, you can do all of that in that edit agent payment and this extra payment options. And then there's all that lovely stuff. So if you have an outside referral, you can say what the percentage is. If you get the W-9 from the other side, you can enter this information. Otherwise, chances are you probably won't have it yet. So I just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and put the rest of the information. Taylor, when he does pay out the referral, will need the W-9 from the company receiving the referral. So when you, typically what I do when I'm doing any sort of referrals, when I do the referral agreement, I also send them a message, say, hey, I need your W-9 from your office. So that way I get it right away and get it to Taylor. So that way it's less.
Is this kind of part of what you were just doing in the office?
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes his life much easier and it makes your life easier because he doesn't have to hound you for the information either. So let's be fair. The less that he has to hound you, the quicker you'll get paid.
Right.
So you'll just enter as best you can. If like, I don't know their phone number, just put.
So you said sorry, if you're on the receiving end of the referral, he or you would reach out and ask for what from us?
So if I'm sending a referral out to another company, I will send our W-9. That's in that KWPR important documents Google Drive. It's literally called W-9. If I'm the one paying a referral, so someone gave me a person as a referral, I would get their W-9.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that way it cuts down, because if he has to wait for the W-9, that will hinder your ability to get paid.
And we can just pull that up and read through that. That was sent out, right?
Yep. Any questions so far on commissions? And then the biggest thing on both commissions and documents is that hit submit button. Submit everything. Typically submitting the commission, I do after like the inspection contingencies up, because I don't want to have to say, haha, just kidding, we're backed away or backed out of it. Typically, if I get through the inspection contingency and all we have left is appraisal, and I'm pretty confident the appraisal is going to be fine, I'll submit it. If there's question of, I don't know if this is going to appraise, then I'll probably wait.
And this isn't anything that we do, right? This is.
You'll submit the commission request, but he'll do all of the back behind the scenes, how you actually get paid.
Okay.
And if you ever needed to put a note saying, hey, there is a referral, let me know I did it right or not.
Right.
You could put there. And if you needed to edit anything, once you have it submitted, you can always change the response before he approves it, or you can edit the offer right here by the 3 dots. So,
I'll be going to his office.
huh?
I'll be going to his office for sure if it needs to be done.
Me too.
You're okay. If once you do it the first like once or twice, you're like, oh, that's way easier
Right.
than I was thinking it was. It's just that initial, it's money. Like, it's scary. It's terrifying, because you're like, oh no, did I do it wrong? Even if you did it wrong, he could figure it out and like fix it just fine. So don't like think that, oh my God, I messed it up, now I'm never going to get paid. No, that's definitely not it. If you mess it up, he'll tell you, future reference, do it this way. Awesome.
That's good.
Or he'll say, Sammy, can you reach out to them and help them? So if you get an email from me saying, so Taylor wanted me to chat with you, it's not a bad thing, I promise. And the last thing that is super helpful is notes. You can keep notes in here about the deal. So this is different than the notes in your contacts. That's contact based. It's tied to that specific contact. These notes are tied to each separate deal. So if you wanted to leave notes about who the lender is, so you don't have to forget, it does happen, who the title is, so, or who the other side title is. So that way it's all in one spot versus trying to go through random emails to try to find out, okay, who was the other title company? You can just pop it in here and not have to think about it. Any questions? And I did this class specifically on this week because I knew it was going to be a short class, so I could go back to doing checks.
Yeah.
Sandra, any questions from you? Where do we load the W-9? Usually you can either put it, so in the bottom, there is a spot that says referral agreement. You can either, you're good. You can either put it in that referral agreement spot with the referral agreement, or you can shoot it to Taylor in an email. You'll be on his happy list if you do all of the stuff for him. And let's be fair, you get paid quicker. So that's way better. Well, you all know where to find me, and I will shoot you guys emails with the transaction checklist samples. And you'll see what it looks like and all that fun stuff. So thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lots to play around with.
Yeah, it's a lot.